As a man, you do not want to be someone whose choices are determined by how he feels. In order for a man to work on his mental and emotional health, he has to be willing to see who he is. You know, as men, what I find so very interesting is our logical disposition for things. When I talk about being a logical individual, what I'm actually talking about is a man who is seeing solution for what it really is in relation to a problem. Now, this is interesting because we know that the world we live in is not dominated just by logical problems. There are also emotional problems as well. And here's where men start to face challenges. Because we tend to apply a logical approach to many things, including that of an emotional nature, we don't get the results that we're looking for from the logic. And so when a man doesn't get what he's looking for after applying his logic to the situation, he then interprets that situation as though there's something wrong with the individual. And here's where I want to say that, men, if you're listening to me right now, do not expect yourself out of other people. Okay? So many times and so many instances, we think that because the way we are thinking is so simple, so straightforward, so direct and to the point, we don't see the harm in what it is to expect other people to think like us. We don't see the harm in what it is to expect other people to feel what it is we're feeling. But when other people don't return on what it is we're doing for them, we start interpreting that as a wrong. We start interpreting that as an offense. And what I want you to remember, guys, is there's a lot more in the world than just logic. There are things that sometimes require an emotional approach. And I get it, sometimes giving an emotional approach doesn't always feel like you're being sensible. It doesn't always feel like you're being respectable. But I want to encourage you to understand that there is value in emotion. And here's that value. As long as there is an emotional distraction in the room, we have to deal with that emotional thing before we can ever apply logic to the situation. Anytime a man tries to apply logic to a situation before dealing with the emotional problem in the room, the logic has nothing to stick to. And if you're like me, man, this can be a very frustrating thing for you to feel because you're sincere in trying to help. You're sincere in trying to assist. You're sincere in trying to give to people what it is you believe you need to be giving them. So I say take patience, okay? Sometimes people are not where you are. Sometimes people aren't necessarily in the same headspace that you are, but understand, when you begin expecting yourself out of other people, you rob other people of the opportunity to be different from you and to have that be okay. Wisdom isn't about knowing, it's about doing. Until next time, keep growing.